Yeah, so I am Sydney. For those of you that don't know, hello. I'm a software engineer and YouTuber. So excited to be on with you. I'm so excited. Goodness. My starting place is that I didn't get a computer science degree like you actually. I had went to school, went to a private university, and had a choice actually to go into computer science and decided not to. I probably would have like stayed in school for another year for that. And I was like, no, I got to get out of here. It's too much. It's too expensive. So yeah, I actually just found like this roundabout way to get back into tech, honestly, because I went to two boot camps. I taught myself JavaScript. I had done all these classes and courses and all these things, projects, yada, yada, yada. And then like I had suddenly just found myself trying to figure out like what I wanted to do when it came to software engineering, came into tech. I was like, oh, I have just so many options here, and just all of these like interviews that I was getting from these recruiters that I had. I had multiple recruiters after I had gotten out of my boot camps. That was the last boot camp that I went to was in May of 2018, I believe. And I had worked for about 6 months on my own on projects and things before I finally got a QA, a quality assurance engineering job. And then recently I had moved into like a fully like web services software engineer where I am helping maintain some of these portals that just pass data to and through. And yeah, I'm here. I also have my YouTube channel. I do one-on-one consulting calls where I help people that are trying to figure out what their next steps are and learning how to code, as well as I have a blog. So yeah, I'm starting a whole bunch of projects this year. It's just kind of been that year of prep to figure out what else I want to do to help inspire Black women, just Black people, and go from there. Yeah.
And make sure you give me those links so I can put them in the description.
Absolutely. Definitely.
So
Thanks.
the one thing that you said that like I hear a lot about boot camps.
Mm.
Do you think it was worth it? I mean, like, was there a cost associated? Obviously, there was a cost associated with it, but was it worth the cost and the time?
So I am definitely, speaking of that, which is awesome. I'm actually uploading a video about boot camps today, so stay tuned for that. But I was lucky enough to find two boot camps that one was free. It was a part of a nonprofit organization that is around the St. Louis area. So I went to that one for free, as well as I got a scholarship for the other boot camp that I went to where I didn't have to pay anything. And so if I had to say like right now they were worth it, getting the skills that I needed to collaborate in an agile mindset, totally worth it. I
Yeah.
think that at the time there was definitely some things that I wish were improved. There weren't a lot of teachers that looked like me. There weren't a lot of ladies that looked like me that were learning how to code, but I knew that I wanted to be there, and I just knew to ask questions, find other resources to kind of get me pointed in the right direction on things that I knew wasn't really explained in the curriculum, but they both gave me that confidence to start collaborating with people, start asking questions, even though I thought that they were dumb ones, and then start really figuring out how to do problem solving and interview skills, really. All the other jobs that I had, like they, you just kind of show up, you look nice and pretty, and they think that you seem smart and everything, but that's really not necessarily the case when it comes to most tech jobs. Like you have to do technical interviews, coding interviews, and
Yeah.
compatibility interviews. So I think that it was worth it in the long run because I was able to help myself kind of navigate through and figure out what type of questions that I can ask myself and ask other people, and figure out like what I can do to just take the curriculum that they had to the next level. So yeah.
Okay. And as far as in your professional life now, do you work in a diverse place, or is it you're still kind of the lone, unicorn?
I am the only Black woman software engineer like on my team. in my department. I know my scrum master is a Black woman. I used to have one of my managers was a Black woman, but she had moved on. It's just funny when people ask me that, because I am the only like person in the room that looks like me, unfortunately. So
Yeah. Does it feel that way, or is it just are you aware of you being Black and a woman, or is it just they treat you no differently than anyone else? And
yeah,
do you feel
so
like okay, yeah.
I I think that I have noticed that being Black in the tech space that I am in right now, especially, not gonna lie, in the Midwest, we're not as like with it. We're not like super hip or anything like that. Like, we really have these conservative roots that we're still just so ingrained in. And I have realized, especially now that I'm working from home because of the coronavirus, I had to kind of make myself a little bit smaller in the office to make space for other people that were kind of jealous, were kind of watching me in a sense where like they were just kind of wondering what I was going to do next. And I definitely don't feel like on my specific scrum team that like I'm like treated any different. But I still like am trying to figure out the concepts of Java programming. So I am kind of like, all right, like explain it to me like I'm 5 and things. So that's that one thing. But I know that I've experienced um, definitely some bullying, some different interactions with a couple of people that it doesn't really make any sense to me, like why I've had those like direct interactions with people or indirect. And I know that they see me differently, and I know that they look at me different, and I know that if they were on if they were on my team, they would treat me different. And so that I'm grateful to be on the team that I'm on right now, but there's definitely that difference where if I were on any other team, like I would have already cussed somebody out, would have gotten fired, or like it just would have been all bad, man.